quantlabs.net. Today is October 3rd, 1:01 Eastern Standard Time. I'm giving you that time just so you know. What I want to show you is something I developed over the last 2 days. Something that is going to be very useful for doing deep analysis on, I'll say, pretty well any stock I want, but primarily for US. This is pretty well going to be part of my research for Seeking Alpha. So let me show you what it is. So in this case, I'm showing you the stats for Meta. I purposely picked this just so you know that, due to the big news coming out, bad news coming out of Facebook a few days ago, and the impact on the price. So here we've got fundamental. It's all divided up into fundamental, due diligence, technical analysis, prediction via AI. My first attempt at doing machine learning, dark pool, and shorts. That's really important. Nobody does that a lot. And insider information. So imagine you can use these new techniques, new methodologies to forecast price. All right, so let's get, let me show you what it is. Variance, max, so on and so forth. We got whatever you want for the corporate side. All the accounting information, typical classic financial information, return on assets, earnings growth, so on and so forth, revenue per share, where they trade, blah, 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 all kinds of that. Very useful. Unfortunately, I might release it to my members on the quant analytics side, but that's about it. Or this will be handpicked, and I'll extract what I want out of it for Seeking Alpha articles. So I'm not going to include everything here that you see. You can see here we've got over 26 pages. So then we move into ratios. Again, the financial ratios, days of sales outstanding, operating cycle. Very useful information. The nice thing is you can see the growth here for the last 5 years. So 2022 is not complete yet, so it's not recorded or updated. But you can get some interesting trends with this. Namely, what I'm looking for when I do the articles, what I found and doing the research for the metrics, what to use, there's a lot of sneakiness used in a lot of these firms to make their stock look better, make the financial position look better, and it really isn't. So these kind of stats will not lie. Okay, it's pretty impressive what comes out of this. We also have growth potentials. You can see here on revenue growth, on the increases where it was pretty strong in 2017, dropped off, declined, and started to go back onto an incline a little bit, not fully recovered from 2017 this year. You can look at the EBITDA growth. So these are the sort of things you may not know about Facebook. This year, I'm sure 2022 will be a very ugly year for Facebook because of all the people are just bailing on Facebook, the platform, and probably Instagram as well because of competition from TikTok. So moving on as well, pretty cool stuff. We also have data or sections from data. Okay, more revenue, market cap, performance per month. It's a lot of important information that most people will look at top end, but there's some detailed info in here that you may not think about, and this is for growth potential. So I'm just showing you this for deep analysis, all the stats. Now remember, we can do the tear sheets as well. So all I have to do is generate the one comparison of, let's say, the Meta or Facebook up against the performance of the S&P 500 and pump out the usual tear sheets that you've seen I put out on this channel. Here's the interesting part, is the enterprise market cap. You can see here market cap's gone up. That might look great for a Facebook, but there's just a lot of underlying things like growth and the share price, and do they pay out a dividend, so on and so forth. Here's an interesting one that most people will not consider: sustainability. Yes, this is the ESG. At one point, ESG was not performing the best, but it was getting up there, and I just suddenly dropped off. But you could still measure this, and what you're looking for is this outperformance, underperformance, and so on. Especially, I'm going to be doing an analysis on that with Barrett Gold. Surprisingly, they did get an outperformance as well because they're under pressure and it hurts their stock. I mean, I don't like having to do that, but it's the way it goes. Now, due diligence. This is the interesting one, is the price target. Now, here's the price target. You can see as the price started to fall back in September last year, really inflated target pricing, and just the stock just didn't keep up. Another bad sign. Here's some of the estimates. Now, this is looking forward-looking, very important stuff, because this is how you gauge future growth with Facebook. So really powerful stuff here. Cash flow from operations, cash flow from financing, things like that, net debt, and so on. This is another one I thought would be interesting for people because a lot of people do follow Kathy Ark. So I thought I'd put her trades in here as well. I got to clean up the reporting still. This one's for Apple, but you can see all the sell for Apple. So it's just another example, but we're still focusing on Meta, but I got to get that cleaned up. Now, if you're worried about the problem with these tables, you can always, like, again, I'm not putting these out for public consumption, but I just wanted to show what the sort of thing I'm using now as part of the development. But you can, this is a Word document, so you can just widen the file. Like, there are people out there who are too lazy to do that, and they'll still complain, and they'll want it for free. No, actually, they want you to pay them to look at it. Like, that's how bad the self-entitlement is getting on YouTube. That's why I don't do as many YouTube videos as I used to. That's why I'm more focusing on getting emails and other channels, and more importantly is Seek Alpha, because they're a good crowd. Okay, so we got the sales here of ARC. Now this is another important one, are recommendations for, I'm not sure if this is Facebook, but you kind of get the idea of 1 month, 1 week, 1 day on all the sell recommendations. So nobody likes, very few people like Facebook. Now we get into the technicals. Yeah, so I still got to rearrange these reports, but they're still fine. Okay, so as I said, we're going to get into the technical analysis now. So the first one's the Fibonacci, has its levels as well. You can see that. Is this, yeah, Meta. So they've just been clobbered down. I don't think they'll be coming back with the situation they're in. It's because they're too greedy, and people don't trust them. People don't want to be on Facebook anymore. They snoop, and they manipulate. I'm okay with it. Here's Bollinger, just really bad. You can see here on the lower band that the price is broken through. There's so much pressure on the downside for this stock. I don't know. Will it come back? I don't see it. Again, Meta, MACD, again below average, not looking good. RSI, oversold. Let's be real. You can see this downward pressure here, and even when you hit the oversold, it bounces a little bit, but price, this time price is not going to affect it. And here's the interesting one I mentioned before. My first time I'm really getting into machine learning. Let me just say something about machine learning and AI. It's a lot of people, I just got an email saying they don't believe in it for forecasting. I can't remember what asset class it was. I think it was like Forex or crypto. Crypto's useless for machine learning, I would think, because of the volatility. But here, this is going to be interesting. So here we do Monte Carlo, the distribution of value. As you can see, there's not a lot of tail in there. Here's the data predictions. You can make or break out of that. Then there's the regression. So you can see here, it's predicting the price will go up, and this is over 30 days. So it analyzes over 90 days, and then it will predict out for, 14 days, for 2 weeks, because by default it was 4 days, and that was the reason I extended it was because of with Seek and Alpha, it could take, if I submit this article as is, it could take up to 4 working days to get that article approved, like I did with the Tyson food. I submitted it Sunday, Monday, went back and forth with editors, and they finally relented and got it published 4 days later. So I have to be a little more longer with this. This is the other interesting one, are the dark pools. Now I can get other charts, very, very good charts, showing how much percent of retail traders versus automated trading systems, which include will include HFT shops. So that I can show, but really what's going to determine this is going to be when I submit the first article to Seek and Alpha, how this will play out. Because I do think that this information is very rare to see. How many people do you know that are presenting price versus volume interest, right? So you can see here total volume and how much of those are shorting. It's just the price is okay, and then it goes back into shorting mode as well. So this is a good chart alone. Very powerful information to have this. And as I said, there's more information here. This came from a site that I started looking at called StockGrid. Looks pretty good. Now the other thing is the trading, the Business Insider activity, and what's going on with the shares. Now this is really important as well, because nobody ever thinks of this. Is like when you have executives either buying their own stock that they work for as an employer, or selling stock, then you know something's going on. So you can see this is for Apple. Okay, so you can see here the trade, the size, their position, they do any options. You can't hide this because all of this stuff is public record. I can't remember where I got this from, but I'll be putting the formal table together as well. But this is incredibly powerful information. Both this with a dark pool and shorting information, because it will tell you which direction it could go. So for instance, Apple last week had a sell recommendation from Bank of America. One of the charts I saw showed one day before quite a few shorting activity happened before the announcement. That's classic insider trading. So you could, if you knew that was coming or watching it, and you've seen that, let's say you looked at that, I think it was on Wednesday or Thursday, that news came out overnight from Wednesday to Thursday. So if you, let's say 10 o'clock Wednesday night, you started seeing people dump Apple shares, like a sell from an insider. Obviously it's classic insider trading. And then you hear about the announcement overnight, and then the price hits Apple really badly. And then that next day on the Thursday, I think it was Thursday, like there's a huge amount of activity, like the most in probably 2 years on that. And then you just see the price pretty well collapse on Friday. So that kind of information is very powerful. I'm not sure if it is insider trading. I have to look deeper into it. I'll probably do another analysis of that because I'm really interested to know. So from my perspective, all this stuff is pretty good to have. This is my newest area to venture into, and I have to tell you, man, a lot of people are not buying stuff. As I said, I've been running surveys on purpose. People want stuff for free. guess what? It ain't working with me. So what I'm doing, as I said, and this was generated because of that kind of situation over the last probably year, and it's getting worse, obviously. Look, I'm not going to whine about it, but it is what it is. But that's why I'm moving to Seeking Alpha and getting articles up there. My last article I did was Tyson Food. Almost 700 views. I mean, I would never get 700 views on anything, anywhere, by posting, with the manipulation going on with a lot of big tech and all that. So that's what I'm doing. I'm finding some successes there, but for me, from a business standpoint, it's all about email. So let me just pull this up. So if you are into learning more on this, okay, just go to quantlabs.net/books, and you can fill all your information out there, and that will get sent over to my email newsletter thingy, so you'll get emails from me depending upon your interest. Also, just take note, what I just provided is very kind of valuable, and we are on the march now to attract the Wall Street subscribers, the pro level, premium level of Seeking Alpha, and getting them into my ecosystem. And let me just show you where you can get this information. And I just posted an article on Coinbase that was kind of rejected for like the dumbest reasons because of things that I already stated, but they claim is not true. This is from the editor at Seeking Alpha. But so that's what kind of prompted me to generate this reporting thing. But I figured with Seeking Alpha, I'm just going to focus only on pure price, because the comment was, well, everybody knows about this, and everyone knows about that, and everyone knows about this. So I'll just focus on price. And that's what I'm doing with those charts, or that Word document I just showed you. So also I said, if you want to get on learning, as I post more of these and generate more of these, if there's enough demand for this, and I would hope there is, I'll be doing more of these like with a video style behind the paywall, and you'll be able to get that. Right now, this is the price. I got so much data I can generate. Crypto, I just did a long post and video on Friday that Coinbase analysis really revealed a lot in the future of crypto. I'll just say it here, crypto this year, next year, complete write-off, but 2024, boom, I think that's when crypto's going to come alive again. So knowing those sort of things, obviously I won't state it in public, but that's where it's at. So this price, $47 a month, will be going up 50% to $67, maybe to $97, and then eventually I'm hoping to get up to $127, up to like $130 and $150 sometime next year, depending upon the market and all the things I'm trying to do with all of this. So we'll leave it at that. There's this plus what I just showed you, all the tear sheets and stuff. It's pretty bonkers. On that, thanks for watching. Have a good day.